All right, hello fifth graders. This is week of 6-1, day 1. We are going to be doing a review for NF4, and this is going to be a lot of work on area. So before we begin, we can write near the top, area equals base times height. All right. Eric needs to cover some portions of the wall with posters. The portion of the wall that he has to cover is 6 meters long and 1/3 of a meter wide. How many square meters of posters does William need to cover the wall? Shade the grid below to show your work. Okay, first thing to figure out how many square meters of posters William needs to cover the wall. It's asking us for the area, but it's not coming right out and saying that, but that's what it wants. So looking at my formula here, 6 meters is long, 1/3 wide. Now in order to multiply by the fraction, we have to give 6 a denominator of 1. And we can multiply straight across. 6 times 1 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3. How many times does 3 go into 6? 2 times, exactly. Okay, and it wants to know how 2 meters squared. Last thing it wants us to do is it wants to shade on the to shade in. So this is 4, 5, 6. 1/3 down, and then you can see how a third, one of these boxes equals a third, so 1, 2, 3 is 1, 1, 2, 3 is 2, and there's 2 meters squared. Alright, I'm going to erase this part to make room. Look at the rectangle. What is the area of the rectangle in square yards? Let's see. So we need to find the area. Do we know the base? Yes, 2 3/4. Do we know the height? Yes, 7 1/4. Before we multiply, we have to make these both into improper fractions or fractions greater than 1. So you're going to have to multiply 2 times 4, which is 8. You're going to have to add 8 to the 3 to make 11/4. And then here you're going to have to multiply 7 times 4, which is 28. 28 plus 1 is 29/4. It'd be a big number. 4 times 4 is 16. Let's do the math down here. 11 times 29. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 0 here to hold the place. 20 times 1 is 20. And 20 times 10 is 200. 9 plus 0 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1. 319. Now we have to figure out how many times 16 can go into 319. Automatically in my brain, I know that 16 times 10 would be 160. I know 16 times 20, because you can think 16 times 2 is 32, so it would be 320. So it's just a teeny bit too big. So let's try 16 times 19 and see what we get. 6 times 9 is 54. I carry the 5. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 5 is 14. The 0 there immediately. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, the 1. 304. So that works. You can say 19. And then what's 319 minus 304? 15. So 19 and 15/16 is our area, and it is in yards squared. I know that this is correct because if you took away the fraction, 7 times 2 is 14, and 19 and 15/16 is just a bit bigger than that. So that confirms to me that we did the correct thing. So 19 and 15/16 yards squared. All right, I'm going to erase down here so we have room for our final problem here. They're doing great. Feel free to pause or go back in the video if you need to. All right, number 3. 2 students created posters for a school carnival. Part A, Ben created a square-shaped poster. Each side is 1.5 feet. What is the area of the poster in square feet? All right, so each side is 1.5 feet. I could label them all, but because I know they're all the same, 1.5 feet. All right, so in order to find my area, I need to multiply base times height, but I could multiply any of these because they're all the same, so I do 1.5 times 1.5. To make that into an improper fraction or fraction greater than 1, we have to do 2 times 1, which is 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3, so 3/2 times 3/2. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 2 is 4. And then to make this as our mixed number, how many times does 4 go into 9? 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. And it leaves us with 1/4 left over. Great job. 1/4 feet. 2 and 1/4 feet squared. That's our answer there. Now for part 2. Hannah created a poster with the same area as Ben's, so the area is 2 and 1/4 feet, or 9/4 feet, but it had different dimensions. Which of the following could be dimensions for Hannah's poster? Circle all that apply. So more than one could be right. We know that right off the bat. So we need to go through each one and we need to multiply to see if we can get 9/4 or 2 and 1/4 feet squared for any of them. So starting with this first one, we have 3 times 1. And 3 times 1 is 3. So that does not work. 2 times 1. That does not work. Okay, how about 2 and 1/4 times 1 and 1/4? Okay, we need to change these into our improper fractions. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9/4. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay. 4 times 4 is 16. 9 times 4 is 45. We need to now simplify. I'm bringing it over here. 45/16. I know 16 times 1 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. So let's try 30. So if it was 2 times, what's 45 minus 32? It is 13. 2 and 13/16. Is that different than 2 and 1/4? Yes, that one does not work either. Let me clear up this area right here. All right, here's our final shot. Otherwise, we have to go back and check our work because we know at least 1, maybe 2 have to be correct. Maybe 3, we don't know. All right, we have 3 times 3 and 3/4. Remembering that whenever we have this number 3, we need to put the denominator of 1 below it so we can multiply straight across. Here we go. We have 3 times 3, which is 9. 4 times 1, which is 4. To make that into our mixed number, then we need to see how many times does 4 go into 9. It goes 2 times, because 4 times 2 is 8. And then 9 minus 8 is 1, so we have 2 and 1/4. Does that work? Is that the same as our answer? Yep, that one works. Circle it. The smiley face by it. Great job. That one works. All right, great job, you guys. You are doing great work. Keep it up. All right, goodbye.